Welcome to another episode of the Revenue Architects Podcast. I'm Steve Keck, and this is Jay Umrani, and we're here today with our special guest, Jason Moore. Jason is the VP of Revenue Operations for Riskified, which is an AI-powered fraud and risk intelligence platform that analyzes the individual behind every interaction to provide real-time decisions and robust identity-based insights for e-commerce brands. So Jason, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into revenue operations.
I've been in revenue operations for over 15 years now. I fell into it, didn't really know what it was, didn't know the role existed. I was in professional services at Ariba and was looking to get off the road. I had been traveling just about every week for a couple of years, and turns out that our head of North American sales had a rotational position where someone would come in and run his sales operations, get to see how the organization works, the rest of the organization gets to see how this person works, and then after 18 to 24 months, I would roll into something else. And so we did that. We ran North American sales. Time came to start looking for something else. He got promoted to head of global sales and said, come run global sales ops with me. So we did that. For another 18-ish months, we were acquired by SAP. We said, let's go see how SAP does this. And by that point, the idea of the rotational position dissolved, and we just stayed in on revenue operations. I had another boss move in, head of global sales for Ariba under SAP, and I worked for him for a few years, and then it's just blossomed from there.
Oh, great. Okay. First, I think the most critical part of all of your role is providing forecast.
Yes.
Right, to the management.
Yes.
So talk to us about how do you stay ahead of forecast and what all teams are included, how do you coordinate that, and how do you truly measure the accuracy of a forecast, and what do you do quarter over quarter to make it better?
So for us, forecasting is not just a sales or a revenue operations task. It's all encompassing. We have weekly forecast calls with all of our sales teams. We inspect each one of the deals that we have in our various stages and in our various levels of commitment for not only the current quarter, but for future quarters as well. We view this not just as a reporting task, but more of an information task for the entire organization. We bring finance into it so that they're aware of what the pipeline looks like for current quarter and future quarters so that they can make their projections. And we make sure that product is involved and implementation is involved so they know what opportunities are and when we expect those to close. We question whether the opportunity is as far along as the rep might think it is. No, the happy years don't exist. We make sure that the MRR, we measure our opportunities in monthly recurring revenue. We make sure that's accurate and the close dates are accurate so that we have a good, solid picture of the deals that we're expecting to come in and win.
Pretty fascinating. I haven't heard many companies actually bringing everybody into that
for clarity call,
for forecasting. That's really helpful.
We have various positions on the weekly call. Not everyone is on a weekly call. So we'll take the weekly calls, we'll roll them up on a weekly basis, and then there is the reporting aspect of we let the ELT and the CEO and everyone know on a weekly basis. My team's responsible for letting them know the weekly view of the business, what changed week over week, what we're expecting to happen in the coming weeks. And then on a monthly basis, we meet with the finance organization to ensure that they're in the know of what's coming, and they'll sanity check their numbers against what we're saying versus what Salesforce is saying, and just to make sure that we're all aligned and marching down the same path.
So I think if you look back, sales used to be a lot of arts and less science, right? Yes. With technology and with data and with AI now coming up, the pendulum is shifting right, where it is becoming less of an art and more of a science. So what kind of tools, technologies, and how are you also leveraging data in these whole scenarios to get those insights saying that, is this deal truly happening?
So there are a lot of tools out there that will raise flags if various tasks haven't been completed in a certain number of days, or this deal, this date has come and gone and nothing has happened. Then there are those other tools that will read between the lines. The AI tools give you an opportunity score. We should
Correct.
focus on this. We should let go by the wayside. We are beginning to look into those types of tools. We are very heavily Salesforce focused. So we take the age-old adage that if it's not in Salesforce, it doesn't exist. And we are in Salesforce. We live and breathe Salesforce every day. So if it's not there, it's not on a piece of paper somewhere, it's not on a spreadsheet somewhere, it doesn't exist. And if it comes up, great. Let's make sure that it's in there, because not only my team, as I mentioned a minute ago, finance and product, they're in Salesforce as well, looking at what's going on. I believe the tools are getting better. I believe the insights that some of these AIs are bringing to the table are eye-opening, because you can ask a rep a question 100 times and get the same answer. But the art side of it is you've really got to be able to read between the words of what they're saying, whereas an AI can see what's going on in the system and raise something that maybe you're not able to extract from listening.
Okay. Are you following any specific sales methodology, like MEDPIC?
At our current company, we're not following anything specific like that.
Okay. And how long is your deal cycle typically? Because that matters, right?
The deal cycle definitely matters. For us, it depends on the tier. Are you an enterprise, a super enterprise, or a strategic company? And for Riskified, it's based on TPV, total payment volume, which is the amount of e-commerce dollars that a merchant has. And our deal cycles range anywhere from 6 to 9 months on average, but can go much longer.
Gotcha.
So does the deal cycle pose any challenges to you?
Sure, time kills all deals, and that still very much rings true in our world. So anything that we can do to shorten that time frame is better, not only for ensuring that we get the deal closed, but it's better for our overall revenue as well.
So how is RevOps helping the field sales with that deal velocity? So
we're trying to remove as many roadblocks as we can. Sometimes people view revenue operations and in specific deal desk as a roadblock versus an enabler, and we try to be the enabler. We want to be the right hand and the support for the sales organization to help them get their deals through faster, to ask the right questions. Did you think of this? Did you think of that? How come this isn't in the system? The Salesforce says this, but you're telling me this. Which one's right? Let's figure this out. And then ensure that when it does the quote or the product specifications, the contract, when they do go for approval, that the approvals get handled in a timely manner.
So is there anything technologically that you're enhancing, designing in the process for better automation, faster clarity?
We're using a little bit of BI on the back end to help bring some of that forward, but overall, like nothing earth-shattering.
Jason, I want to talk about the whole space that is evolving in terms of revenue management. See, we have a lot of teams. We have sales ops, we have revenue ops, we have deal desk. But the concept of revenue management is evolving. And in case you are in Salesforce, Salesforce has also come up with the whole revenue cloud now, which is trying to stitch all these things together. So the real question is, in your view and with your experience, so much of experience with this, where does revenue management truly lie? And whether it lies with one of the teams, do you require an overlay team? How would you put it together?
It's a team effort. For me, it starts with marketing. It starts with the campaigns, the evangelism of the company, of the tool, of the service, all the way down through revenue recognition and billing, which occur after the handoff, after we've gone live, the customer is up and running, we have our account management team making sure that the customer is happy, and then we ensure that billing and RevRec are happening accurately. The customers are getting the invoices that they expect. So it's a joint effort between marketing, between sales, like you said, deal desk, and finance on the back end, along with implementation, data integration.
I think where I was going is look at from ELT or a CEO perspective.
Okay.
He looks at a lot of teams doing a lot of good work towards this. But if he wants to hold somebody accountable for revenue management, whom does he hold? Is it revenue operations that he ultimately goes to?
He will first come to me and my team and say, we're seeing anomalies here, or we're seeing a trend over there. Can you shed some more light on it? And then we'll take that opportunity to go speak with the relevant teams and get a little more insight and put together a summary of what we're finding. Revenue operations has become the hub of all the other teams. They are separate teams. They may report into separate departments, but we're all part of one organization that's trying to maximize revenue and ensure that our customers are happy.
With your experience, you have been in a lot of organizations. Share with us what tools, technologies you are used, which works, which don't work, because if you look at right from marketing to sales, we see tons of technologies, right? To 10 minimum products everybody has to just qualify MQL, then comes to SQL.
Right.
So talk to us about that. And since you're a Salesforce shop, are you all in Salesforce? You're using other technologies also? That would be a great insight.
So you're right, we are a Salesforce shop. We do use other technologies, but they really need to all work together to talk seamlessly so that we're not having to extract data from one tool and upload it into another one. We have various marketing tools that the marketing team uses. We use Salesforce, we use Salesforce CPQ, and then on the back end we have NetSuite as our ERP, along with Looker and Tableau that take Salesforce and NetSuite data and send it back so that we can analyze a lot of our numbers. But for us, it's very important that whatever tool that we look at, whatever tool that we think about moving away from and towards another one, that they all are seamlessly integrated.
So do you see staying in CPQ, because Salesforce has also announced end of sale and maybe end of life might be coming? Have you thought about Revenue Cloud and done any research into you going towards Revenue Cloud to consolidate all your revenue management operations as well?
We've started looking into what the alternatives are. It's not a top focus right now because Salesforce has not announced that they're completely killing it. They're just going to stop support from what we understand. There are other tools out there that can replace them. We're looking at those, Revenue Cloud being also the options, but we've not really put that as a top priority just yet. We will, but not yet.
As we build a more comprehensive revenue management model, the clarifying roles, and how do we untangle who's in charge of actual revenue execution, who's responsible for those things? What do you feel is heading your way when it comes to how you're untangling or figuring out how to collaborate across these departments to maximize someone's ability to own the execution?
It's a good question. There is a lot of interconnectivity between teams and ownership and needs to report to various stakeholders. But I believe that in order to do this in the most appropriate way, you have to have clear roles and responsibilities. You have to have clear swim lanes. We can work together, but defining ownership for one specific task, one specific operation is very important so that we're not stepping on each other's toes. We're not 2-3 departments working on the same thing at the same time, spinning our wheel. Everybody knows what everybody is supposed to do. They know when they're supposed to take over, what they're supposed to do, and who they're supposed to hand it off to.
So everyone doesn't have an AI strategy they get to implement for themselves?
No, we're trying to rein that in a little bit.
And when people say AI, they typically are referring to Gen AI, or then all the aspects of AI, right? So what are your views, and are you experimenting anything or implementing anything that AI can help from marketing to revenue recognition?
We're beginning that path. We're looking at a couple of tools. We're also looking at in-house building. We've got a couple of AI tools that a couple members of our team are work on in their free time. So we're experimenting with those to see the results, if they line up with our expectations. It's going to be a powerful force for our organization and other organizations out there. I think it's coming sooner rather than later.
So which areas you feel in lead to cash lifecycle where AI can make most impact? With today's maturity, because it's evolving anyways.
Yeah, so I think the biggest impact it would have for us right now is outside of data cleanliness, outside of telling me that this account belongs in EMEA versus the US for these reasons. Excluding that, I think the biggest impact it could have is telling me when to reach out to my contacts at an organization.
Okay.
When are they in their buying cycle? When are they really going to respond most positively to our outreach?
And you are collecting these buying signals, and that's the data you want to use.
Correct. That's right.
To help. So you are saying in the prospecting life cycle, it might help phase
Correct.
really well.
Yep.
What about during deal closure? Are there any AI use cases it can accelerate? See, for example, typically what we see during a deal closure is, do you have stakeholder coverage? Because if you miss somebody and you're trying to close the deal, it doesn't happen. Have you checked all the boxes, like all the activities are
Right,
done? That's
right.
some sales methodology you might be using. Do we have a champion? Have we really mapped their buying process? Do we know their pain points? All of those factors that we do. AI
Yeah.
can very meticulously analyze not just the data they have entered in Salesforce, but also your call transcripts if you have gone, or any of those tools. You can look at the proposals you have given, the solution you have given. Have we missed something? Did we address all their concerns?
It can be beneficial there, like you said. Have we checked all the boxes? Is there something that we missed? Are we going to get to the contract stage and realize that we left someone out,
yeah.
or we haven't thought about a particular use case for our product that could trip us up? Those will be very insightful, and I would love to see those coming out of the Salesforce
System.
tool. Like I was saying earlier, as we go through our weekly forecast calls, bring those potential issues to light early so that we can address them before we get close to the end. Another area that I think could be beneficial for us is with our integrations. So we get a contract signed, and then there's a period of integration before we can actually go live. And that requires a lot of back and forth between us and the merchants. And if there's an AI tool and the ability to speed that up to help gather more information quickly. I think that would be great.
Because your revenue recognition starts when the integrations are complete and when you go
That's
live.
right. Our revenue recognition starts when the customer goes live.
I think one last question into this piece is, you just touched a little bit on data, right? And data has been a concern to most of the enterprises, so it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
And I believe that is where these products like Data Cloud and other things are coming in, saying that you don't need to clean up all your data, but you can use Data Cloud, you can harmonize and unify and all of that data and do it. Talk to us about not just your current, but your previous experience also of how you have maintained maybe a data hygiene.
Yep.
And where do you see bottlenecks where you typically want to leverage AI, but it might limit you?
Data cleanliness is obviously very important. If you don't have clean data, you're going to have the wrong person talking to the wrong account, or you're going to have a great account sitting out there, but you've labeled it as a bad fit for whatever reason. It's not on your target list because the data is unclean. Having a tool that can help scrub that data on a constant basis and is constantly looking for changes is going to be a huge help for us to keep things moving along. And as you said earlier, how do we shrink the sales cycle? We get clean data and we know what we're going after.
Okay.
How would you think about, as companies are growing, they often grow by acquisition. They often add on new technologies, other things. How would AI be able to help you keep the kind of hygiene you're looking for in order to know,
Yep.
hey, did this work? Is this working? We put these companies together. Are we getting what we wanted out of them?
Do you guys grow by acquisition, or you're more of an organic growth?
We're much more organic.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a different challenge.
It's a very different challenge. It's one that we may or may not face coming up. I don't know. But when we get there, I'm sure AI tools will be there to help us.
Is there any other thoughts around data-driven revenue ops that you'd like to share as advice for other people building organically the way you do?
I think it's just the more data points you can gather, the more informed you're going to be. And the more data that you can summarize and make succinct and share across the organization, the better the organization's going to be.
Simple messages travel farther. Bang one drum and keep banging it till
That's
everybody
right.
hears it.
That's right.
Excellent. Jason, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being with us. And thank you all for tuning in. We definitely would appreciate if you would like and subscribe and share this beautiful podcast with all of your friends in revenue operations and those around who need to understand a little bit more about revenue operations. Thank you for connecting with us either on LinkedIn or other social channels, and we look forward to the next episode. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks.
Thank you.